It's a service, and this is for all of us. We were joking, and it's funny is, so I was going through call time, and one of our donors last time is none other than Medea Benjamin. And we were just talking about Medea the other day because I'm the kind of person.
Medea's on fire on the Hill right now.
Love her. So like Medea knows, like if I were to get in there, we'd let her have like a little outpost in our area. We'd let her have her little Code Pink kiosk right in our little office area.
If anybody has any recommendations, I mean, again, we have our contacts that we have in the media, but we are always welcoming those that want to assist. So media@gen2024.org for podcasts or anything that you could think of that would be of value to have Jen get her message out there, people who would want to know more about this. And again, we're going to throw everything at the wall that we possibly can. If there is an opportunity for Jen potentially to get on any of the corporate media channels to get her message out, then that's what we're going to do. Jay, thank you so very much. It really means a lot. Remember, anything that you want to do to help us is going to
It really is. And I realize we're not like right now, I think like the website is gen2024.org. And it will be up and running. I think it's a little slow connecting to the Act Blue right now, but just be patient. But we are on Act Blue and we do have the QR code. So the sooner we get this up and running and I can be out there, the better than me and not being able to be out there and having to be like calling for dollars. And that's the truth. You know, guys, I'm looking at spending 35 hours a week over the next couple of weeks dialing for dollars. So the sooner that this gets up and running and I don't have to do that, is so much better. I would so much rather be planning our service stuff and getting our volunteers together and doing events and being able to like be out there. Trust me, I would rather be out there now, more and more now than I will have to be in August. So the sooner that I'm out there.
Yeah, if only if it was reverse osmosis and you got to be out there now.
Yeah. The sooner I'm able to get out now, the better. And so, whatever you guys help is, it's just really helpful.
Remember, this is not our words. This is words of people who contribute, and those who contribute are always allowed to say what they want to say because we appreciate their contribution. We do not need a 100-year-old Chelsea Clinton like DWS in Congress. I will be donating to Jen Perelman. That means a lot, Willie.
Thank you, Willie.
So what I would say, and again, this is maybe not.
Let me say, look, I wouldn't do it if I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah, there'd be no point in going again.
Okay, but, and you guys know this, so like I run service-based campaigns, so regardless, let's say that we get to however high we get and it still doesn't cut it, I guarantee you, we spent the months and months and months serving this community. I will be out there promoting our message, speaking our platform and my mission, and that is what it is. And that campaign pushes the needle. This is why I support Dr. West. It's like, not that I wouldn't want him to win, and I really would, but like the idea is these campaigns have to be used as part of the process. These campaigns need to be used just like we use outside organizing, and we're not using them properly. So if we have a campaign that's doing that and we don't win, we haven't wasted our time. We have built coalition, we have made ourselves stronger, and we are just pushing the message. And that is good. August 20th.
August 20th is the date. We agree, so smart, but not stupid. I'm not going to call you that.
That's so horrible.
Yes, obviously Jen will be fighting for this, among other things. I think you could.
Please. I don't even have my bullet here.
Maybe it might be best to not do that on camera.
No. I'll be good now. That's probably true. Although there's no shortage of her being able to pull clips of me smoking.
Well, what I would say is that we are friends with Ronnie Kalick. Obviously, Breakthrough News is definitely a place where we want to get on. Amy Goodman, if she's interested in having Jen on, right now we're working on getting Jen on. Chris Hedges.
Okay, and first off, anybody knows Eugene that would reach. I'm a big fan. So if you have a
Eugene
connection,
did a great job, basically emceeing the Gaza event in New York.
He's amazing. He's amazing. I was following, for people know I'm talking about Eugene Perrier, who works with Ronnie Kalick over at Breakthrough, and which is one of my sources. And I was following him because he used to have, he might still have, I don't know, I don't listen, his radio show. So I've been following him for a while. And so Eugene's amazing. So I'd love to go on with him. And not that I don't love Rania, because I do love Rania, but her I've met. So I'm just saying.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. It is obviously appreciated.
Jimmy Zim Zam.
Listen, we've got over 100 people watching on Twitter right now. So if you guys would be so inclined, if you can join us on YouTube and make sure that you hit the subscribe button, make sure that you click the bell, anything that you could do, hit the like button. All these things matter. They
Now, if
all
every
help.
one of those 165 people shared, would be good.
Yeah. I think that this really is just a race against time. I don't think Debbie's got a lot of it. I think that she's vulnerable. But
Oh,
for
put
different
out our
reasons.
our social media handles have changed.
All social media handles are the same now. They are Jen for Congress 2024. So if you are not currently subscribed on any of the channels, now you will have the opportunity to just look that up and go to all of them.
Right. It's probably the most convenient it's ever been for us. We've had periods where like all 3 social media handles are something slightly different. I did this on purpose. This was my insistence. I am so tired of having different things for everything. This is why I'm easily hacked. I know it. I
Awesome.
cannot. I literally have to take pictures of passwords. Like I am so tired of having to remember so many different logins and codes, and I'm so tired of that. August 21st, I will be in a camper on the land where my friend has some land.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I can tell you between now and then is that I don't know what's happening, but I know on August 21st, I will be in Betty Lou, my camper, on my friend's land in Georgia.
All right, so let's make sure that she
Okay.
can drive all the way to DC from there, that she doesn't have to stop.
Well, yes, and here's the thing. If I win, then I'm going to have to come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
God forbid you have to
But-
legislate. That would suck.
And my kid still lives here, so I really wouldn't be going forever anyway. If I don't win, I still have to come back, but definitely for not as quickly. So if for me, I'm looking at potential vacation, guys.
No, that would be sweet. I ain't getting one.
Well, it's funny because when I was on with Ron, one of the things he asked, which is a very valid question, is everybody says these things until they get elected, and then they get there and they get all co-opted. And why are you different?
It
Like,
all depends on whether or not you feel that there is something to gain there that you don't currently have, that you desperately want to have. And
hey,
look,
Max.
well, we will, obviously tomorrow, we're not going to cover it today because there's no point, because this is about Jen getting started. But tomorrow we will cover AOC and what happened at the movie theater and people coming up to her and whatnot. Look, you're either one way or you're the other way. You have to make a choice. And if they don't understand that, especially right now with things being what they are, you cannot walk a line. It's not possible, because we're literally living in a genocide. You got that going on. But it's also everything that's going on here at home. You can't be there and be nice. If people are going to come after you, they're going to come after you. And that's just the way it is.
So since there's new people, I am running against Debbie Wasserman Schultz in a Democratic primary in Florida's 25th district. And people who do know us and follow us know that my dream world would be no parties. I am only affiliated in the capacity that I am because I live in a closed primary state in a blue district. So, and the reality is, strategically, it's the only way to do this. So, and as it is, it's still an uphill battle. Like, this isn't something that is, even where we're starting at now, it's still always a long shot to take out an incumbent.
Florida is not progressive, but it is populist.
Yes.
And therein lies the difference, because there's a reason why there's so much traction in Tallahassee with the book banning and the stuff that's going on. And Anna Eskamani did another great job today with listen, this is even though she's not an attorney, Anna Eskamani's she's the best representative we have in Tallahassee.
Eskamani 26.
And so she basically said, look, if you want to ban these books, you're going to actually have to there's legal requirements in terms of like what you have to do.
Right.
It's like write 5 pages. Like, okay, fine. You really want this? Well, you're going to actually have to do work. You can't just scream and shout and pretend like everybody's bad.
So she's making them jump through the hoops.
Why not?
I love her.
Do it. don't play that crap.
Florida is interesting because you guys, for people who don't know, the same in 2020, or I'm sorry, what 2016? I'm losing my mind.
Right.
2016, when we elected Trump, we also put through a $15 minimum wage in that same election. So that to me says that we are a populist state, but our state legislature is definitely been hijacked by very, very right wing and even very religious right.
That's one of the problems that people need to understand, is that Florida is a state that's probably 5 different states. You have the Panhandle, you have Jacksonville, you have Central Florida. Central Florida, believe it or not, is the most conservative part of the state. And I'm talking like crazy conservative. Then you have Southwest, and you have...
Even more than you think, the Panhandle?
Absolutely.
And when you say
Personal
Central, where are you thinking?
Remember, the Panhandle is mostly libertarian.
That's true.
When you go
The Panhandle is very libertarian.
When you go into the central part of the state, that's where you have a church on every corner.
Oh, okay. I see.
Every corner.
Right.
And that's the
Panhandle is more country.
Very much so.
But live and let live.
Correct. Bo.
Yeah, Bo.
So
that's what I think. Bo is to me, that's who I think of as like the poster child for that region of Florida.
Southwest Florida is what you call Midwest conservative. Most of the people that have money that retire
like
to
Naples,
Southwest Florida. You have Naples, Sarasota, Fort Myers, and obviously Tampa. And so the people come down from places like Illinois, Missouri, Ohio.
But Tampa and Pinellas, like Hillsborough and Pinellas counties are fairly blue.
But what I'm saying is that that's where they end up. Well,
yeah.
Or
is Pinellas not?
Pinellas, Hillsborough was, that swung to Trump both times. So, that's not surprising. But where we are, we're in Southeast Florida, and we are basically where the Northeast goes to retire in many places. You also
Let's be real, they come here to die.
They don't really come here to live because they're not really encouraging change in any capacity. No. Like they come down here, they want it what it is, but the demographics are changing. The district lines are not the same anymore. There are reasons for cautious optimism that this could actually be done. One of the biggest reasons that this race was even plausible is because a significant portion of the Zionist population that exists down here is no longer in the district. If that was still in the district, and I'm looking at you, Aventura, if they were still here, it wouldn't be possible. But
she would be kicking and screaming watching this if she ever saw this.
But because they're not in the district anymore, and now we have Miramar, which is a much more working class Latino and Black community.
And more importantly, canvassable.
Canvassable. We have a portion of Fort Lauderdale that's out of the district. Sunrise is no longer here. There are reasons to think.
Yeah, this would be the perfect storm. If it were to happen, it'll happen now.
It may not mean as much as that of the burn, Paula Jean, and
it means so much more to me, Mario. You're one of the OGs.
You are. You've been here for
and I will tell people, like, seriously, this about me, and anyone who knows me can attest this. I am extremely loyal. Like, extremely loyal. People that are there for me, well, I never forget people that have my back. And also, likewise, people that don't.
Karen, just make sure you volunteer. And she's a good Karen. There are good Karens.
I have a friend here that's a good Karen, and she can vote for me.
Do we have a PayPal option, as with wants to know?
No, we don't. I don't know that we're allowed to do that. This is one of those things where there's special rules. However, I will say this, if you weren't here in the beginning, as soon as we have, which will be maybe within the next week, we might be able to. Yeah, we'll be able to get it up and running next week. As soon as we have our full web page up, then there'll be other ways to donate that isn't ActBlue. That was very important to me from the beginning, was to make sure that we have an option for people to donate that doesn't go through ActBlue for people who don't feel the need to support the Democrats. So that was important to me, but we need a certain program set up. So I would say in a couple of weeks, we will absolutely be able to take outside of ActBlue.
We appreciate it, Felix. Obviously, any contributions are going to help us.
No, we love you guys.
Remember, every $15 donation you're making is close to, we're going to do the best we can, obviously, that's close to an hour of canvassing for a canvasser. So think of it that way. Because
we could do it like, they do, like you could feed a family of this, or you could do this. We should have it like you can help a canvasser. No, but we could always do, you could help get this for this. We're going to need like I still want to do I want magnets on the cars, like all of that.
What kind of district are you looking at in the academic institutions? Yes, we have Nova Southeastern University. We have Broward College. We also have a number of prep schools, some charter schools, public charter, the one in Pembroke Pines, obviously the one that they're just called Pembroke Pines Charter. So
I love you, Deter McBusiness. Yeah. I love you. And the fact that I think might be the only person who really understands Deter McBusiness between the two of us, I think it makes our connection extra special.
Yes, we have unions.
And we do have unions. And right now we're in a pretty decent position there, better than we were a few years ago in terms of being able to get me a screening.
Yes, Xander, she is running as a Dem.
It's the only way.
That is the only way to win. So while we are in comrade arms with our friend Jose.
I'm in Broward County, guys. We're in Broward County, Florida.
So even though we are locked arms with we call him comrade Jose Vega, who's running for Congress against another AIPAC darling and Richie Torres, running in the Bronx as an independent might actually be sensible. Because I do think that there are
actually, it is in his demographic, and he knows his demographic, just like we know ours.
Right.
And that every campaign is different. Every district is different. The only way that this person can be unseated is in a Democratic primary. I'm not saying the only way it can be done by me, but until we don't have close primaries here, that's the way it is.
And unfortunately, this is going to be a theme that's going to come up constantly. And one of the things that we've noticed lately, which I think is a big part of what the problem is that you see every day, is that the brazen corruption is at a completely different level when you enter with somebody like Debbie, who is on par in what would be more the micro level, comparatively speaking, to somebody like Pelosi, where they just do it out in the open. They do not care who sees it. They don't care if anybody is complaining about it. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was the #1 traitor in the Democratic Party just this previous year. The #1 in the whole country. #1.
And if you guys are curious, seriously, we always promote Unusual Whales. If you're not familiar with Unusual Whales, the website, they track congressional trades. So it's really very interesting to watch and them publicly all just breaking the law because they've decided to not bring it to a floor for a vote so that it really technically, even though you shouldn't be doing it, they haven't made it illegal for themselves.
Yeah, and let's remember, and for everybody who's watching right now, we got 225 people watching.
You know what you can do for me, Michael? Promote. Spread, share tweets, have things go viral. The more we spread and go viral, that's when we're unbeatable.
Ray J will be going live tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. We are having a special guest from the UK come on, talk about her new book that's coming out. Grace Blakely talking about vulture capitalism. We're also going to be speaking with California ranked choice voting. What a time to have them on. If you guys want to talk about one topic today, we could talk about this when we talk about the fact that any blue will not do. And if there's one thing that we have made very clear is that when it comes to the absolute rot within the Democratic Party infrastructure, there are obviously the ones that rise above others. But Adam Schiff is at a certain level of corruption, which is not only distasteful because he's as big an AIPAC darling as Debbie is. The other thing about him, which again, we put out there on social media this morning, and it's obviously not gotten the same reach that Jen got the other day.
See, how come we put out social media, but I'm running for Congress?
Well, you're the one putting your head on the line. If anybody's taking a shot, they're going to hit you. Actually, no. Odds are they're going to miss you and hit me. So, of course,
that would be your luck. You're Charlie Brown.
I am that guy. And I'm Irish, but I'm not all Irish. So whatever else I got mixed in didn't work.
Okay, because someone on Status Quo compared me to Claire Daly, and that was like the best compliment I've ever gotten. Don't do it.
What's the matter? They don't want to compare.
Don't do it.
Have you heard of George Galloway? Tell everybody to piss off.
I love him too. But
have you heard of Mickey Dolenz doing the same?
I am a fangirl of that feisty Irish woman. I dig her. The
Irish definitely got it going on. There's no two ways about it. And they're bold. You know, I wish our country was more like Ireland. We did break away from the Brits, but the difference is that the Brits would have always been in our backyard like the Irish, and they have never stopped fighting. And when they see what's going on in Gaza right now, they were on it from day one. They didn't hesitate. They didn't care how much it pissed off the British Parliament.
No.
They didn't care how much it pissed off the United States, and they certainly didn't give a damn how much it pissed off Israel. And so as a result, you have that Irish fighting spirit that is absolutely necessary.
I'm a fan. I am a fan.
Yeah, how could you not be?
I am a fan.
There are many reasons to do this, but I would definitely say...
And the truth is, guys, seriously, AIPAC is going to come after me.
Oh, yeah.
Big. And between June and our primary, we're going to be the only primary for them to be going after.
What is it on the Israel? So you two differ on the Israel issue.
Completely. Like, we couldn't be more far apart if we tried.
What is her stance?
Oh, she is Zionist to the core. She is a Zionist to the core. Whether or not it's ideological or AIPAC induced, I don't know. And to be honest, I really don't care why. But I can probably surmise that she and I were raised pretty similarly on that. We're both Ashkenazi Jews raised in the United States, and we were raised, and in general, in this country, to be very anti-Arab. We are raised to think that Arabs are lesser, less civilized, dirty, and want to kill us. That is brainwashed into us from a very young age, and it's absurd. And it's taken me the better part of 10 years to deprogram myself. And then once you see it, you can't unsee it. And so now I feel like this might be the hill that I die on. I have a lot of regret. I was used as a tool in ethnic cleansing when I was in Israel. I was there as a teenager. They take groups over there all the time on mass propaganda tours. I was there on a program called Alexander Muss High School in Israel. And we lived there in dorms for 6 weeks. And you study and go visit the places. And all the while is constant Zionist brainwashing and propagandizing. And I've realized that where they were taking us was to places that weren't we weren't supposed to be. And we, of course, thought it was so cool because you're traveling with an armed guard and he's got this big machine gun and we're in high school and oh, how cool, we have our own armed guard. But you really have to wonder who uses human shields when you're sending teenagers somewhere where you think they need an assault rifle to protect them. So clearly we were places we weren't supposed to be. And I also know that they have us planting trees in parts of East Jerusalem. Well, now it might not be that, but that was where we were planting. And now I know what I was doing. And at the time, I had no idea what I was doing. So I have a lot of like a personal atonement in my part in ethnic cleansing, but that's why this will be the hill that I now have to die on. And this woman sits there and has our entire Congress sign a resolution that says that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, and stood on the steps of our Capitol and actually said that if somebody doesn't support that, they have no soul. Now, personally, I believe that if anybody is an expert on the soul list, it is Debbie Wasserman Schultz. So, kudos to her on knowing that. But the scariest part, Kim, is that other than a handful of people, they all signed that. So in other words, if I walk into Congress with enough money and say 2 + 2 is 5, they'll sign that too. And that has put me over the edge. I will spend every breath I have telling people that Zionism and Judaism are completely different things. In fact, Zionism is anti-Semitic, and as a program has been using the Jews forever.
Which AIPAC is now spending record levels of money trying to which is interesting. It's like all this money could go to so many other good causes, but instead what they're doing is they want to eradicate anybody that they think is a threat to Israel. And it is insane that it's an American what does AIPAC stand for? So it's American Israel
Political Affairs Committee.
Yeah, could you imagine? Or if it was China, the American China, right? Anybody anti-China, they're going to primary and spend a bunch of money on.
Well, people should question very much, and this is a huge thing. Why don't the lobbyists from AIPAC have to register as foreign agents when every other country's lobbyists do?
Right. Yeah, especially when it's because they put American in there. So if you put American Israel, it's okay.
But it shouldn't be. And actually the way that they really they launder it, because as long as the money is coming from stateside, it technically that's how it works. But yet you're still lobbying on behalf of a foreign government.
Right.
So to me, the fact that the money comes from this country is irrelevant. What if you had a whole bunch of local Chinese people get together? Would we again be in favor of them lobbying on behalf of China just because their money is American?
Right.
And again, I have nothing against the Chinese. Like literally, I am all for the Chinese and the Russians. I don't want any, but I'm just pointing out the complete
the hypocrisy of this.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think Colonello wants to know who you're running against.
Is he being serious?
Probably not.
Colonello. Okay, so I don't like to talk about Debbie. I really don't. And you guys are going to know, like, there's a difference between me on generational change as somebody who's a content creator, talking about her in the context of she is a congresswoman, she is my representative. That's fine. I do. Hey, let me finish. But campaign Jen, when I'm out talking about what we're doing and what I'm about and what I'd like to see, I don't talk about her. I really don't. I don't need to run a campaign based on her stuff. I've got enough of my own stuff. I got enough of my own glitter. I don't need to be worried about her crap. So there's two different things. And yeah, I have to kind of balance that, because when we're here talking stories and she's doing her stuff, yeah, as the person sitting in generational change, I'm going to call it out. But that is not the campaign that we're running. That is not what I talk about. That is not the issue. Like, that's just not how this works. So I don't want to talk crap about her as like somebody who I'm challenging. It's just, I am way better than that. And it's just the way it is.
And this is why we would tell you right now why Trump is going to win again, because the entire strategy against Trump at this point is basically, he's terrible, don't support him, he's going to wreck the country, et cetera, et cetera. The way you win is by presenting an argument where people look at it and say, wow, that's inspiring. I think we have a better chance. Instead, it's, oh my God, Debbie this, Debbie that. That doesn't serve anything.
And honestly, anyone who had ever been at any of the campaign events or anything I did in 20, you can go back and look. The only time that I talk about her is people want me to, because the truth is it helps with fundraising. And so we say it in terms of it does motivate people, especially globally, because she's just so not liked. But I don't do it because the truth is I don't really have the time. There are so many other things I have to talk about besides that. So this campaign, guys, our top 3 are healthcare, housing, and jobs. I'm going to be really working hard promoting the idea of federal jobs guarantee. I think it's an opportunity right now, just like, you know, Bernie sort of got us all talking about Medicare for all, and we now have that planted and we're kind of going. I really think we need to start working the federal jobs guarantee. So I'm going to do that. So we're going to be mostly healthcare, housing, and jobs. But, you know, I'm where I am on all the stuff. And we have 3 years of content on our channel for people to go and look, and you can see what I'm about for the past 3 years. And the only thing I can tell you is I've gotten a little bit further to the left, maybe. Like I'm worried I might fall off on the side, but we have so much content. There's not secrets, but when we have all of our issues up, everything will be addressed. But I really want to focus on healthcare, housing, and jobs right now. I really do. And yes, obviously we need to talk about Israel. But in terms of like how to go forward as a country and how to help the people that are here, I really think that's where we all need to be focused on. And we even threw around, like, where do we put education in the mix? Like, where is that? Very important. And I, of course, support tuition-free public college, trade schools, all of it. And all of that is something that I can walk and chew gum at the same time. But in terms of like focusing for things like marketing purposes and flyers and stuff, I'm really honing in on basically the 21st century economic bill of rights and those 3 components, because really until we have that in order, I don't, you know, like you need to have housing. I mean, yes, there are kids that go to school that are houseless, which is just off the wall to me that there's so many kids in public school that don't have homes. But for the most part, you need the house first. So that's where we are. Guys, feel free to let me know what you think about that. Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.